Namaste, everyone. Yogi Parks here. I'm getting a little teary-eyed just because I'm thinking of a certain student that I have. I'm thinking of a certain student that I have, and it's my interaction with her and my times with her that are inspiring me to make this video. In thinking about mental health issues and mental health disorders, and including, pondering on my own, one thing that I've realized and one thing that I was thinking about earlier, a couple hours ago, was how hard it is dealing with anxiety, stress, paranoia, especially anxiety, paranoia, obsessive compulsive disorder. Stress, I think, is, kind of like an aftermath of, those feelings, emotions, and experiences. I would actually say anxiety and paranoia to me feels a little bit more, intense than stress. But I think anybody can relate to what I'm identifying with. And for people that struggle with mental health disorders, this is where it is different than regular people. I know for myself and for others that deal with mental health disorders, a lot of the things that we are challenged with are imaginary in our minds. Especially with obsessive compulsive disorder, a lot of the times, people that deal with paranoia, a lot of the times we are so fixated on something that we know isn't real. For example, even, in my own story, when I have flare-ups with my OCD, I can be looking at something for 5-10 minutes, knowing that it's there or knowing that it's done. And I can be staring at it, or knowing that it's fixated at one place. I can be, or if something is off or on, like if an appliance or the sink or something like that is off or on, I can be staring at it for maybe 5 minutes, just really still unsure, is this off? And that's insanity, in my mind, and I don't mean to, I shouldn't, excuse me, I shouldn't use the word insanity so lightly, but as someone that does deal with mental health disorders, and I have two of them, as previously stated in one of my other videos, I have obsessive compulsive disorder and bipolar 2 disorder, and to be quite frank, which I wanted to address this point in this video, for the most part, my mental health disorders are purely genetic, which is, in so many cases, thank God, I'm so grateful that what I deal with, I've inherited. Which obviously it's still something that's challenging, but I haven't gone through some kind of trauma in my life, and for, this video, and I'm maybe going on a little bit of a rant, but there's a purpose to this video, which is to give love to everyone in my mental health family, for people that deal with these issues and it's hereditary, or people that are dealing with these issues and it's, stemmed from trauma, or even both. There are people that have mental health issues that were affected by, could have been affected by trauma in their early, childhood development years. And then, and not only do they have trauma, but they've also have some, hereditary mental health issues. So both, there's so many degrees to, how mental health, how we're affected by mental health and how it comes into our life. So the whole purpose of this video, and I'll repeat this again, is to, for me, as someone that's a part of this family and this community, one purpose that I want to fulfill is to give love to all of you all, everyone in my family. People that have, people that have these issues from their genetics, people that have it from trauma, people that have it from both, trauma and genetics. And of course my love goes out to all the people just, going through hard times as well. The other thing that I wanted to address, besides that I just wanted to give love, is I wanted to address that I know in my personal experiences, and I know through many other people's personal experiences, that a lot of what we deal with is, like I said earlier, irrational, imaginary. I would say 99.9% of what I deal with is imaginary and irrational. What I have all this anxiety about, or paranoia about, fear. It's all mostly in my head. Granted, it's a mixture of genetics. It's a mixture of genetics and a mental health disorder. But I'm still able to identify that it's not real in my mind, even though sometimes I go through staring at something for 5 minutes or more, or obsessing about something for hours on end, days on end, weeks on end. I am able to, in so many moments, and so much of my still greater reality is wrapped in the awareness that I do know that what I'm so stuck on isn't real. It's not actually there. It's not actually there. And that is peace and bliss. So this video may have turned into a rant, and I'm learning to personally, be able to, share these talks and share my thoughts and my ideas. And obviously, is so much of it is coming in so much of it is coming in as a stream of consciousness, but I want my thoughts to be organized for you all. So I hope with everything that I've maybe randomly said, I hope some of it has been connected. And I think the 2 points that I'm wanting to get across is, for anybody in my family, my mental health family, I love you. And for anybody that's dealing with the same issues, where whether it does stem from trauma, genetics, or a mixture of both, and you're dealing with mental health issues, of course, trauma is real. At some point, something traumatic may have happened in someone's life. And that is what is so, and that happened. But so much of how we're psychologically affected by that trauma afterwards isn't real. A lack of self-love or self-worth, doubts and fears, and maybe not feeling like you can be loved, which that's repetitive, but so many things. If you're a part of this community, you know what I mean. You can relate to it. I know it. So much of what goes in our minds and what troubles us, and steers us off our path of self-love and surrender is in our minds. So again, I love you all, and I know the challenge. Obviously in the different degrees, I don't suffer from trauma in my life. It's genetic, but I know the challenge is real, and I know that so much of it is in our minds, and I want to give love to everybody in that way. Share with them, this isn't real, you know what I mean? And what's going on in here isn't real, and that's love. I love you, that's love, and this meditation is dedicated to all of you all, even myself as well. Anybody that is dealing with trauma, mental health issues, OCD, paranoia, schizophrenia, bipolar 2 disorder, eating disorders. I fear I've been so repetitive, but if you are anyone that is taking on those challenges every single day, you are so brave, you are such a warrior, and you are so strong, and you are love. And I don't even need to directly see you or meet you in this intimate moment to know that you are love. So this meditation is dedicated to everybody that is in this family. We're going to do a quick short 8 minutes, and we're just going to close our eyes, maybe put our hands on our hearts for the first part of the meditation. And here we go. If you've already become familiar with my YouTube videos, you know that in my personal practice I do like to use a timer. It's maybe a little tacky, not so glamorous. You will hear it go off. It's our reminder to come out. Let's take a few natural breaths as we sink in. We're not doing a chant, we're not doing a traditional mantra in this meditation, but from some of the powerful words that came through me at the end of what I was saying previously. I want our internal mantra that we use to focus our minds inward to be, you are love. So as you observe your thoughts come up and out, continuously come back to that internalized mantra. Continuously say to yourself, you are love, which could mean you are God, you are love, you are spirit, you are the universe. Whatever you identify with, use that. That's your concentration tool. Continuously come back to that. You are love. Slowly, maybe repeat the mantra inside one more time to yourself. I actually encourage it. So to yourself, in your mind, repeat, you are love. You are spirit. You are of God, our God. You are of the universe. You are the universe. Slowly come back to a natural breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, just bringing awareness back to the body. Slowly coming back. Never want to shock the body, shock the eyes. As we return from a deep space, a deep safe space. And then slowly, let's actually do this. Actually, let's go ahead. You'll bring your hands over your eyes. I love to do this. So you bring your palms cover your eyes, and then you'll open your eyes to the palms of your hands as to not shock the eyes. Like I said, as we come back, and then keep your eyes locked at your palms as you slowly bring your hands away from your eyes, from your face. And voila! Thank you guys for being in this space with me, sharing space with me, allowing to share with you guys. Namaste.